Just a moment.
Okay.
Hi, David. Good.
All right, Madam Chair, we do have a quorum, so we're ready whenever you are.
All right, it is 1 p.m. So we are going to get started with the August MAG Streets Committee meeting. The first item on the agenda is the call to order. So Steph, will you please call the roll?
Absolutely. I will go alphabetical by last name, starting with Jennifer Acuna.
Good afternoon, I'm here.
Thank you. Grant Anderson.
Here.
Thank you. Charles Andrews.
Here.
Thank you. Keith Brown. Bryce Christo.
Here.
Thank you. Jerry Cooper. Maria Deeb.
Here.
Nathan Domi.
Here.
Keith Drenaski.
Here.
David Fabiano. Brian Harville. Nathan Domi.
Here.
Thank you. Corey Steele as proxy for Kathy Hollow.
Here.
Thank you. Jennifer Jack. Kevin Lair. Chair Macaluso, you are here. Randy Babchuck as proxy for Jamie McCracken. Brad Novacek.
I'm present.
Thank you. Steve O'Brien.
Here.
Thank you. Dana Oswiani.
I'm here now that it got updated. Sorry for the delay.
No problem. Patrick Sage.
Here.
Thank you. Christopher Salas. Raquel Schatz.
Here.
Thank you. Raj Thoughtam.
Here.
Thank you. John Dixon as proxy for Leticia Vargas.
Here.
Thank you. John Kraft as proxy for Christopher Wanamaker.
Here.
John Willett.
This is Anissa Gerard. I'm proxy for John Willett.
Got it. Thank you, Anissa. And is there anyone I missed?
Sorry, this is Jennifer Jack. I probably missed you here.
Okay, I got you, Jennifer. Anyone else?
Keith Brown.
Keith Brown, got you. Anyone else? Okay, Madam Chair, a quorum is present.
Thank you, Steph. So the meeting of the MAG Streets Committee is called to order. As a reminder, please mute your microphone to eliminate any feedback. You will have the opportunity to raise your hand in the chat to be recognized, at which time you can unmute your microphone to talk. When you begin speaking, please state your name and your organization. We'll move on to agenda item number 2, which is call to the audience. Members of the public were asked to submit written comments related to this meeting through the MAG website. Comments may be sent at any time leading up to the meeting, but must be received at least 2 hours prior to the posted start time for the meeting. This is the opportunity for the public to comment on items that fall under MAG's jurisdiction that are not on the agenda or that are on the agenda for discussion and not for action. As noted in today's agenda, changes have been made to this process for sharing written comments, which are now provided to the committee in advance of the meeting for consideration. Since we did receive comments online prior to the change on June 9th, they will be read aloud per the prior policy. So staff, will you please read the comments received prior to the change?
Absolutely, Chair. We have Mark Overton, MAG staff, to read those.
First comment comes from Donnie Bond from Goodyear, Arizona. Begin comment. EV technology gives me concerns regarding the potential for hacking, tampering, and gathering sensitive data, as well as concerns about reliability in the case of malfunctions. End comment. Second comment, also from Donnie Bond from Goodyear, Arizona. Begin comment. I'm glad to see you're reevaluating street light timing per various time of day and weekends. However, please make the public aware of this as we need a heads up. If a yellow light is longer than we're used to it being, it does affect your driving habits. End comment. And last comment, also from Donnie Bond of Goodyear, Arizona. Begin comment. I am opposed to all the bike paths being added. I daily have to watch carefully as bikers disregard the rules of the road. They must be enforced. End comment.
And that concludes our public comments, Chair.
All right, so we will move on to agenda item number 3, which is the transportation staff report. Patrick Stone will now provide updates and a report to the committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the Street Committee. Pleasure to chat with you again. I actually have 3 items. I apologize. There's one listed on the screen. So the first item is agency coordination meetings. As we did last year, MAG staff have started, today being the first day, going out to member agencies, meeting with them either virtually or in person, with the goal to review projects that are planned for fiscal years 2024 and actually 2025, and just working with member agencies to check in, see how those projects are doing, if they need anything from MAG staff. We also review current underway projects, see how those are going, if they've been completed, or anything of that nature. Also have discussions about potential closeout for fiscal year 2024, review the guidebook that's just been published a couple days ago, and then give the member agencies an opportunity to comment back to MAG staff if there are items that they wish to express. So first 2 meetings were held this morning, went very well, pleased with that. Second item I have, we do have a call for projects this year. We only have 1 item. It is for fiscal year 2024 PM10 certified street sweepers. A memo was sent out to members of this committee back on August 1st, highlighting the call for projects and identifying key dates. Of note, applications are due September 15th at 10 a.m. and no late applications are accepted. And then the final item comes from something Maria Angelica Deeb asked for us to pass on behalf of the ASCE. Excuse me. There's a Save the Date educational opportunity for a Sustainability and Resilience 2023 conference, which will be held Thursday, October 12th, 2023 from 8 a.m. to noon. And if you need additional information, you can reach out to Maria and get that information. With that, Madam Chair, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee members? Seeing none, we will move on to agenda item number 4, which is approval of the minutes. Please take a few moments to review the minutes from the March 14th meeting if you have not already. And please let us know if any committee members have any revisions or comments. I'll give a little bit for that. And once someone is ready, could I have a motion to recommend approval of the meeting minutes of March 14th, 2023?
Henderson, Youngtown, I shall move.
Thank you, Grant. Do we have a second for that motion?
Second.
And that's Maria. Thank you. So now we will do roll call to vote on the motion. When Steph calls your name, please indicate yay or nay. Steph, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Taking it from the top, alphabetical by last name once again, Jennifer Acuna with FHWA.
Yay.
Thank you. Grant Anderson,
Yay.
Charles Andrews.
Yay.
Thank you. Keith Brown,
Yay.
Bryce Christo,
Yay.
Maria Deeb,
Yay.
Nathan Domi,
Yes.
Keith Drenaski,
Yes.
Brian Harville,
Yay.
Ray Steele,
Yay.
Jennifer Jack,
Yay.
Randy Babchuck, Brad Novacek,
Yay.
Steve O'Brien,
Yay.
Dana Oswiani,
Yay.
Patrick Sage,
Yay.
Raquel Schatz,
Yay.
Raj Thoughtum,
Yay.
John Dixon, John Kraft,
Yay.
thank you, Anissa Gerard,
Yay.
and then Madam Chair, how do you vote?
Yay.
Thank you. Is there anyone I missed in my roll call? All right, Madam Chair, motion passes.
All right. With that, we will move on to agenda item number 5, which is the ADOT traffic count update. This will be presented by Wang Zhang, MAG Transportation Data Program Manager. This item is on agenda for information and discussion whenever you are ready.
Thank you, Madam Chair and MAG Street Committee members. So we invited the staff from ADOT, Lucas Mori, to give this presentation. I believe he's online. Please go ahead, Lucas.
I guess you might be on mute.
I'll go ahead and get us started. While Lucas might figure out what's going on here. So we are from ADOT Multimodal Planning, specifically the Federal Reporting and Data Analytics sections. I'm not sure who is controlling the screen, so I will generally say move on. Cool. So just some updates, and Lucas, I'm gonna check and see if you're here yet. It's okay if not.
Yeah, I apologize,
Oh,
everybody.
there you are.
Yeah, my computer decided to flip out there for a second. If it's okay, would I be able to share my screen? Try it.
MAG staff, is that possible?
Yeah, I do. I show that Tyler has made Lucas a co-host. He should be able to share his screen.
Okay.
Excellent. I'll start that now. Yeah, thank you again, and apologize for that error. So let me go ahead and start this presentation. So I'm with the Arizona Department of Transportation. I'm joined by Sage Donaldson today. Unfortunately, Sonia was unable to make it today. She's traveling at the moment, and so asked us to go ahead and do this presentation for her. And so I've got some traffic reporting updates to share. So as of June 15th, we have had recent coordination with a few cities, Maricopa, El Mirage, and City of Phoenix, for collection and uploading their counts into the MS2 system. And that sounded like it went successfully. We do have some pending coordination or training efforts with multiple cities that you can see listed here on the screen. We've also had counts provided by Fountain Hills, Scottsdale, and Glendale, so very much appreciate that. All of these counts were uploaded into our MS2 system, so we're able to access them there. A few additional updates. As always, please continue to share your data to the MS2 system. I've got the URL here. It's mag.ms2soft.com. Through this system, we're able to access the counts, download them for like HPMS use and that kind of stuff. It is also available to you as well. So if you have any kind of planning efforts that maybe it's not just within your area, but maybe there's a COG or MPO that shares a boundary with you that you want to see what their counts are, you can go onto their system and see what their counts are and use that as part of your planning efforts as well. So it's very helpful that way. If you are interested, or any of your staff are interested in learning how to use MS2, such as creating a traffic count location, what we sometimes call a blue square, or uploading counts into the MS2 system, please do not hesitate to contact us. You can contact us at this email address, aztrafficdata@azdot.gov. And I do want to emphasize that training is free. So once again, don't hesitate to contact us for that. I also have a link here for an intersection survey sensors inventory survey. So we are considering, we're not doing anything quite yet, but we are considering about adding traffic counts that are collected from intersection sensors into MS2. And what we're interested in is just learning, do you collect traffic counts currently using intersection sensors? Who would be the best contact to talk about that if you do, that kind of information. So this survey just gives us some basic information. So if we do decide to move forward on that effort, we would at least know who to be talking to about that. So your help with that would be appreciated. And so I'm going to switch over now to a live demonstration to our traffic reporting map. Many of you may have heard of this. We used to call it the gap map. But I do want to point out, if you have used this interface, we do have a new URL, and I do have it here in the PowerPoint presentation. What this new URL does is the actual gap map itself, if you're familiar with it, hasn't changed a whole lot. I will talk about one pretty significant change that we recently done here in a second. But mainly, if you look here at the top, we've got these clickable pills that if you click on them, you can pull up additional information related to traffic. So say you have somebody new to the traffic counting program, you can send them to this story map where they can read about how the traffic counting program is related to HPMS reporting and that kind of stuff. We also have another one here for just some useful guidelines, depending on what kind of software you use for tracking your traffic counts, how to pull those data out of those software and into the MS2 system. Once again, this is not to replace any kind of training that we might provide for you. They're just available guidelines if you need them or not. As far as the traffic count status map goes, like I said, mostly it hasn't changed a whole lot. But we have recolor coded the streets. It used to be we had 3 color codes. We now have 4, and I'll talk about those here in a second. But the filters on the side are largely unchanged. You can filter by a specific road owner. So let's say I want to look at Avondale roads or one of the others, or maybe I just want to go to MAG in general. And if I select MAG, it'll zoom me into that area and show me those roads. It will also adjust this pie chart. And what this pie chart is doing is it's saying how current the counts are for these particular road segments. Like I said, the colors we've changed around a little bit just to make them a little easier to understand when a traffic count needs to be collected according to HPMS requirements. Because according to HPMS, depending on the functional classification of a road, the road may need to be counted every 3 years or every 6 years. And so what this color scheme does is it indicates whether the count is on track meaning that the count is good, it's within the HPMS required cycle, and doesn't need to be counted this year. Yellow means that the count is at risk. This is not a bad indication. It means the count is current, it's within the HPMS cycle, but if it's not counted this year, then it's going to be out of date by next year. So this is the last year that count is going to be valid. And orange indicates that the count is overdue, so it's past that 3 or 6 year cycle for that particular segment. And then red indicates that the vehicle volume is missing. We just don't have a count in that. And I want to point out that this map is created using data from MS2. So it's very possible that you might have counts for some of these missing roads, but because they're not in MS2, we're not seeing them. And so the map is not going to reflect that. Sage is also going to talk in a little bit more detail later about some roads that were reclassified from local to minor collector. And so they went from, not needing a count to needing a count this year. So she'll get into that in a little bit more detail later on. But this map is available to you. When you click on any of these filters, again, it filters this pie chart. It also allows you, if I click on this arrow at the bottom, you can view this information in a table. And from the drop-down arrow over here, you can select to export this all to a CSV table. And prior to this meeting, we had a contact of ours from Works Consulting, Jonathan Samuelson. He already did that using that exact website to pull in some information into an Excel file so you can see the status for each road that's in the MAG area. The ownership information for each road. You can even get the HPMS count cycle for those particular items. And then he took things a little bit further, creating some summary tables on this form. And by the way, I can send this Excel file on to everybody following this meeting, so you have a copy. But for this, you can see Jonathan put together some pie charts that are similar to the ones we were looking at in the tool. But scrolling over, he did a few others, like comparing the counts on when they need to be counted by year to get an idea of how many counts need to be completed this year versus next year, and on and on. And then he even did a chart on the counts by whether they're on track, at risk, overdue, or missing. So these are some of the different ways that you can divide the data out and maybe help with your planning efforts on any kind of counting programs that you do. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Sage Donaldson for.
Yeah, thanks, Lucas. The other thing, just to talk a little bit more about that count status map, the intention of this is to be able to let the member agencies or the folks responsible for counting these roads, let them know and be more transparent on what exactly is expected and where they should be counting. But the other piece of it is we want to be able to give you a tool so that you can start scheduling out your programs according to when counts are due. So, we really encourage folks to start using this and using it as your way to schedule when, to do your traffic count program schedule. And even more so than that, as you guys do start using it, we really want to hear what is working and what isn't working, where things would be useful to add, and how we can make this really authoritative for the state counting purposes. But yeah, so we can go ahead and go back to the slides now, Lucas. So to move on, so ADOT, as part of satisfying federal reporting guidelines, has started a new short-term count project where we, ADOT, are going to, in one time, count a bunch of minor collectors in the MAG region. So around 1,900 minor collectors in the MAG area are going to be counted by United Civil Group, who is on contract to do this counting. MS2 is our contractor priming this project, and so they'll be working on other facets of it as well. This is a one-time effort. This isn't something ADOT plans to do at any regular cadence, but this is a way for us to get more in line with what is required of federal reporting. All of these counts, even though they are being done in the MAG region, are being loaded to the ADOT MS2 portal. We're happy to share these counts as they get completed. If you were to go into the ADOT portal, you'll see all of these counts. I just kind of took a snip of what it looks like right now. But so you'll see all of these different counts being done on non-ADOT owned roads. A lot of these, Lucas mentioned earlier, a lot of these became required to count because of the functional classification rebalance that was done in 2018 and 2019. So a lot of local roads bumped up into major and minor collectors, which then requires everyone to count them. So like I said, so there's around 1,900 different places, different roads on the state being counted. Majority of them are urban minor collectors. However, there are a few major collectors in there that are going to be counted as well. If you have any questions about that, please reach out. We're happy to share information. We're happy to share where they're being counted, who they're being owned by. But yeah, we're excited to kind of get us back into a a more green state and hopefully satisfy some of the federal reporting requirements, especially as some new safety requirements are coming down. So if anybody has any questions, please, you can unmute now and ask them, or send myself or Lucas a question later on. Okay. All right, well, Lucas, we can probably continue on here then. So I guess to kind of round us out, please continue to collect traffic counts regularly, and reference the gap map like we discussed, and let us know where it's not working and where it could be more useful. I think that's something that we're interested in hearing from you all. Please continue to regularly share the MS2, share your counts via MS2. This allows us to use them for HPMS, which benefits the state as far as getting our federal funding apportionment. We do ask that all of those that you'd like included in each year's federal reporting be uploaded by February 1st of 2024. MAG sends out its own call for counts, and so we kind of follow in line with that. Please continue to collaborate with us regarding your traffic count program and where you need support. If you need help identifying where to count, we're happy to help. If you need help uploading data or even troubleshooting things that might be going on in your MS2 portal, please reach out to us. We're happy to help, and we're happy to support the member agencies however we can. And we know that MAG is going to be doing some counts later on this year on the higher functionally classified roads, but continue to expand permanent count sites and let us know where you're doing so, and definitely keep us in line with where you're looking into other options for counting data, like the intersection detectors or turning movement counts or auto polling in other places. So I think that is it for us. Lucas, Jonathan, is there anything else that we want to discuss before handing it back?
This is Wang Zhang, again, Transmitting Data Program Manager from MAG. Could we go back to the previous slide? I just want to add one comment. Yes, I want to add one comment to item number 2 discussed previously by Sage. Every year we work with members through the MAG Street committees requesting for the traffic data that's been collected in this year. As we all know, the deadline of getting all this data fully prepared and uploaded to the MS2 portal has been moved to February 1st of each year. So typically we send out this data request in November, and I think this year we need to do that rather earlier. And we will try to do that probably within the fall. And also, if you already gather your data in the year of 2023, there's always 3 options, like we already mentioned, to get the data to the MS2 portal. One being you can upload the data by yourselves to the MS2 portal. Second being you can directly work with us, with the MAG staff. We can help you out by receiving your data and transfer them onto the format and upload the data for you. And the third option, obviously, is to directly work with ADA staff, with the Sage teams. They can help you out in terms of getting your data to the portal. So those 3 options are always open. On whatever you feel is convenient, please go ahead to choose one of them to work with us to get the data to the MS2 portal. Again, if you still need to wait for your data connection to be fully completed by the end of this year, we fully understand it. If you already finished your data connection in the year of 2023, you may begin this process by choosing any of those 3 options. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for adding that one. And the other, I guess I'm glad that you brought that up. The other piece here is that one of the reasons we're trying to push this a little more is that there are new requirements for federal reporting that's now FHWA is requiring us to report the last time a road was counted. And so it's their way of starting to kind of check us for where we should be counting and where we're deficient in counting. So, as far as like getting things uploaded for the year, like Wang was saying, it's a good idea to get it a little earlier. And like you said, if you've already got it done, choose one of those 3 options, like you said, and we'll be happy to receive data however we can.
All right, are there any questions or comments from any of the committee members?
Are we getting a copy of this presentation? This is Suzanne with the town of Gilbert.
Hi, Suzanne. This is Patrick. Yeah, it's actually on the MAG website under the street committee. The full presentation
Okay.
is included as part of the
Right.
committee
Thank you,
agenda.
Patrick.
Any other questions?
Yes, hi Angela, Patrick. This is Maria Hedica with the City of Mesa. So this is more of a question for MAG staff. When the ALCP Prop 400 completes or sunsets, is there going to be any analysis of the improvements done to the regional road and see what can be functionally classified and be of change? Last time we did it was in 2019, 2020, and I'm expecting that when things are completed and roads are improved, that we might need to revisit this. Is this something that MAG is going to spearhead, or it is on behalf of each city to do it?
Thank you, Madam Chair, Maria and Hedica. Good point, and maybe this is something we can also put on a request for a future agenda item. I certainly think, I do recall the previous count was done by Steve Tate prior to my time at MAG. But yeah, I think there would be an opportunity to go back and revisit. Even as we are chatting with, and kind of tying back to my program manager's report, as we're reviewing, especially those local roadways where you've made those improvements using local funding. If those projects have been completed and that roadway has now increased capacity, or it's moved from perhaps a minor to a major collector, moved into an arterial, it would be prudent to actually go back in and ensure those roadway classifications are correct.
And I actually think ADOT can comment on this as well. We are the kind of first approvers for functional class, is that is a facet of the federal report, the Highway Performance Monitoring System report. And we actually have a functional class portal where you can request changes. And that is the authority on what the road is functionally classified as. And that is absolutely something at any point you're welcome to go in and give us feedback or request your road to be a different functional class. So we can share that link as well so that, you can plan accordingly and stuff too.
I think that being said, in Sage, that's a great point. Is there some frequency or expectation from ADOT on how often member agencies should be reviewing their functional classifications within their boundaries?
Not really. It's really where you're working on a road, I guess, is kind of the frequency that it seems like folks do it now. The reason that we had previously done a statewide functional class rebalance is because FHWA came to us and told us that our percents in each functional class were not meeting the requirements of functional class. And so we had way too much in the local bucket. And so that's why things changed. So there's not really a frequency. It's kind of up to you. And when your road, you feel like the road meets a different classification, that would be when we want it, I guess. And Lucas just put the link for that request in there.
Just as a suggestion to that point, would it be, since we get the request for the traffic counts every year, would it be just beneficial to add that link to that request so that if there's any changes that member agencies need to have, it just happens with that request? Would that be possible, or is that mixing two different things too closely?
Yeah, and I guess that's up to MAG, but
Okay.
that would be fine with us. We'd be happy to, continue to help facilitate that as well.
Any other questions from any other member agencies? I did have a comment. It's the intersection sensor survey. Will that be going out for committee input in a separate email? How did you want to do that?
Yeah, if that could go out in an email to all the member agencies, that would be great, yeah.
Mag, are you able to assist with that survey?
Yeah, I think, Sage, Lucas, if you could get that over to Wong and we can then work internally on getting that out to our member agencies, especially if you have some specific talking points or things you might want us to include in that communication, just so that we make sure member agencies understand what the ask is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
And then-
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. I'm all of a sudden remembering things. I think the other thing that I also wanted to put out there is, I guess the option 4 here is that if you guys are having contractors collect for you, to require your contractors to upload those that data to MS2 for you. We do have sample short-term count program language that you can use as your solicitation for field work, for collecting counts. And in fact, ADOT just used that as our own solicitation for projects. So we can share that as well, but it's pretty useful in that it has all the language for uploading counts to MS2.
Maria, I see your hand raised.
Yes, thank you for that. But generally what we at the City of Mesa would like to do is we like to review the traffic counts and modify or do additional analysis as needed. And then we like to control the update, as well as we have a traffic count map that is available to all that want in our public website. So we tend to control a little bit more what is sent to the public, what is uploaded to MAG or ADOT. And we would like to continue that way. I don't know how other communities feel. So this request, once it's needed, I'll make sure that the City of Mesa complies expeditiously. So thank you.
Thank you, Maria. The county also does a similar process, so understand where you're coming from. Any other questions? All right. Thank you all for your presentation. We will move on to agenda item number 6, which is the request for future agenda items. Are there any requests by a street committee member for an item on a future agenda? All right, seeing none, we will move on to agenda item number 7, which is the updates from member agencies. I'd like to invite any members to share information related to ongoing street-related projects in their jurisdictions. Does anyone have anything they would like to share? All right, I do, as the county, have one item to share. We are getting ready to update our transportation system plan 2050. So that will be coming down the pipeline relatively soon. So just wanted to throw that out to all the committee members. We appreciate your assistance when we go through this process and your collaboration as well. So anything else from any members? All right, agenda item number 8 is the next meeting date. The next meeting of the street committee will be on, I believe, September 12th, 2023 at 1 p.m. our normal time. And then we will move on to, I don't think it's another agenda item, but to close out our meeting, if no one has anything else. In order to close out, I will need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Anderson, I so move.
Thank you, Grant. And we need a second.
Second.
Thank you, John. And we do not need to pull all the members. So this meeting is adjourned at 1:39. We will see